Morning, champions. Wanted to go over your day 3 AMI packet activities. So I'm here on day 3, and I'm going to go down to the math section, and it says Andrew solves the equation 4 times the quantity of 2y minus 7 equals 64 plus 12y. His work is shown below. It says to review Andrew's work to determine if he has found the correct solution. If he has made any mistakes, identify the mistake. Justify your reasoning. Here are a couple sentence stems you can use. When you're explaining and justifying your reasoning, you can say things like, I agree with Andrew's work because, or you could say, I disagree with Andrew's work because. If you notice over here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Here's his work. Okay, so what I wanted to reference today when we're talking about this is if we look at a similar equation here, we're going to have to use the distributive property, like we've done in math class in the past. And the distributive property says to multiply the number or variable outside the parentheses by each number or variable inside the parentheses, then find the sum. So the sum, remember, means add them together. Add them together. You're also going to need to just remember the order of operations. So we need to do grouping symbols first, means parentheses, brackets, or braces. Exponents, things like 4 to the third, 2 to the second, or 10 to the fourth. That little number up there, remember, is the exponent. And then you multiply and divide left to right, third, and then last, you add and subtract left to right. So if I was going to do this first, I have to do the grouping symbols first. Remember, this expression over here should equal this expression over here. So I can't add anything, remember, because I can't combine like terms, because see, there's a y here, there's no y here. So therefore, I'm just left to distribute and use the distributive property. Distribute means to multiply everything on the outside times everything on the inside. I'm going to be doing 3 times 2y, and I'm going to be doing 3 times 10. When I simplify these, I'm going to be left with 6y, because 3 times 2 is 6. My addition sign just comes down, and then I'll have to multiply 3 times 10, which you know is 30. Bring down my equal sign, and then everything on the right side, so I can check my answer. Okay. From this point, I can begin to move the variables from side to side. We don't actually do this in 6th grade math for our standard. So here's what you can do. You don't actually have to go all the way to the end, like Andrew did. See how he took his all the way to the end to figure out what y equals? You can determine from this point. Let me go back to my paint. You can determine from this point, see I have a 30 here and I have a 30 here, I have a plus sign here and a plus sign here. Everything matches, but if you notice, I have a 12y here and a 6y here. No matter, because this and this don't match, even if I do go ahead and finish this, I'm going to find out what y equals. Each side does not equal. Each side does not equal. So this is just an example to show you. Um, if you wanted to take it further, remember you do not have to do this, but this is just kind of an extension. You would have to subtract 6y from this side and the other side, which that would cancel. And if I subtract 12y from 6y, I'm left with 6y. And then I'm going to have to subtract my 30 to the other side. 30 goes away. When I subtract 30 from 30, this 30 goes away also. So what I'm left with is 0 equals 6y. And I know that if I divide 6 by 0, that means y equals 0. Therefore, my answer cannot be correct, because when I multiply 3 times 0, if I do 2 times 0 up here, I'm going to wind up with 0. So 3 times 0 is 0. All I'm going to be left with is 10 on this side, If I multiply